Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Dad Bear DIY, and I think this is episode 6 of our Space Engineers Lost Moon survival scenario playthrough. And today we are going to continue where we left off. We're going to finish the last few things that we that we started planning for our plunge miner, who we are going to call Plungy. And then we're going to go out and we're going to do a quick collection, get some ice, and then we'll see where we're going to go from there. Let's do it. Program block, remote control, and a sensor. Let's go ahead and insert a small grid. So we're going to add that remote control. Program block here, and sensor. Controller right now, but we may use that in the future. This is the program block. Again, use sensor. Construct those last few things there. Now I'm putting this in. I'm taking a little bit of a chance with it because I don't recall if I have in-game scripts enabled. Okay, so this is a remote control block, everybody. See those arrows on the top? Those are meant to face forward, so the direction that your cockpit goes. You can also see from the eye right there. Okay, so that eye needs to be facing forward, but it's got arrows on it. Okay, that's the way it should. So for us, this is the way it should come. I'm just going to tuck it right in here. All right. Now the next thing, I need my sensor to face down. I'm going to grab a couple more steel plates. So I'm going to put this down a little bit, but just flush. Just need go two blocks. I'll explain why here. I'm hoping that this doesn't get all wonky here. Let's go ahead and weld these up. Okay, now we're going to place our sensor. Okay, sensor's on the... Nope, sorry, it's on the program block. That's what a sensor looks like. With this vanilla sensor, you got to look at this like it's a face. So the screen part is the eye, is the white line, or the trigger indicator is the mouth. So if we were laying this, I would put it like this. Again, we're facing down. Our sensor is facing down because we want it to face down. It also has a little arrow, if you notice above, to the left of the screen there's a small arrow that says that's the top. Okay. We're not going to use that, we're going to use this one. Arrows, again, to the left now. You can see two arrows, that's indicating up. Okay, and that's where you can access that glowing there. So, let's go ahead and put, we're going to go ahead and add Plungy to it. And where is our sensor? It's going to be in the S's, or remote control, sorry. In the clears of remote control, so now we have that. Alright, now we need a program block. And I'm going to use the automaton program block. This is nice and tucked away, I don't got to worry about it getting damaged. Doesn't really need to be tucked under here. We're going to do it. Okay. Again, we can access the screen, so we can go ahead and do that. We're going to add a name to it. I'm going to get rid of automaton. Program block. It's just written out. It's too long. Too long. Okay, so we're just going to call that block. Okay. Shortens it up, makes it easier to see. Now, we should have everything. Do you hear that little beep? The little beep is the sensor detecting me. Alright. Now we're going to see if we actually have in-game scripts enabled. I don't know if we do or not. So let's see. It's going to need to go in the program block. And to use a program block, this utilizes scripts, okay? To load a script, you'll hit you go to select your program block, you can hit edit, okay? Now you can go in here and write whatever you want, but most of the time, you have scripts saved from the workshop or mod.io. What we're looking for is called the path auto miner. Right here. Okay. So this is for automated mining, grinding, and transportation. Okay. Awesome. If you guys know, I mean, just, it's by Kex. It's amazing. I mean, ever since like near the very beginning of playing this game, once I learned about this, I've had it in my scripts thing. So we're going to copy that to our editor. Right. And you can come back and look at this, and this will give you all the, this is kind of like a mini user's guide. It gives you where the guide is. I don't think it actually, don't really need to do it too much here, but it tells you like control. So Pam, any block that needs to be associated with this script is going to have Pam in it somewhere. The items that are going to need that are going to be your sensor, your remote control, and then any LCD that you associate with Pam to display information is going to be involved there. We're going to use a cockpit. So this is a tag for LCDs, cockpits of the block, blah, blah, blah. We're going to add this little number right here to our cockpit name. Okay, here's the basic stuff, right? So there's a full guide here at the workshop you can check out, and a YouTube video that'll help you work out. So we've loaded it. We're going to check it, make sure that everything's fine. It says it compiled successfully. Okay, and now we're going to hit OK. That loads it. Now, over here on your lower right, you can see now we've got information. Now, this is only in the program block, right? Okay, there's no job. These are the different options that you can choose. And down here, this is the important part, right? The minor mode enabled. If any of our setup was wrong, this is where it would tell you, like it doesn't have a sensor, there's no remote control, the sensor's pointed in the wrong direction, that type of thing. Okay, you would see that here. Okay. All right, so we need to add those tags, like I said, to what I like to do is I like to kind of just incorporate it into the name. So we're going to do Pam, click, and this was controller. Whoop, one too many L's. All right, close that. So now it says Plungy, remote, Pam controller. I've satisfied that argument. In the programming, I'm just going to put, you don't have to do this for the program block, but I'm doing it so I can see when I'm going through my control panel that this program block is associated with Pam. Now we need to go to our sensor. This is an automaton sensor. And again, we're just going to add Pam to that. So we have everything set up there. It is important when you're putting these that you put it just like it's written in the instructions. Okay, so capital PAM, these are brackets, they're not parentheses. Okay, these are square brackets. And for your controller, it has to be capital PAM, no space, dash, no space, controller with a capital C. Okay. Now, we're going to go to our cockpit. Our Plungy cockpit. It's industrial cockpit. And we are going to name, we're going to add bracket, Pam, colon, one, close bracket. So let me show you what that does. If we change our view to cockpit view, you can see the inside we've got LCDs. Okay. You can change the information that's put on these LCDs, and that's what we just did. This right here, we've now put that information that was in the lower right-hand corner of our control panel into this LCD so that we can see it when we're actually flying. Okay. This is obviously, I said PAM:1. That's LCD1. Gets PAM information. So this is obviously LCD1. This is probably LCD2 in the middle, LCD3, and then LCD4. We want to be able to see it, so right there. Okay. Now, fortunately, we're not done yet. I need to make room for 3 commands on my toolbar. Since this hydrogen engine is a emergency power source, I'm going to remove it and I'm going to add it to the back toolbar. Okay. That makes room. I need 3 commands. I want those on the first toolbar. I'm also going to take this opportunity. I am going to add antenna. Turn on, off. I'm also going to add, where's the, that was Plungy's antenna. Where's the board detector? On and off. Alright, so let's go back to our 6. So now we have 3 spots. So our program block, we're going to run commands by pushing what in this case is going to be the number 6, 7, and 8. Okay, here's our program block. I'm going to, excuse me. So I'm going to right click, we're going to scroll down and hit run. So this is the command we're going to say we want the program block to run. Now this is the command we want to say. There are 3 main commands. You've got up, down, and apply. Think of apply as hitting the enter key or the return key on your keyboard. So that's the execute key. Up and down are going to do just that. They're going to move the cursor up and down through the listings on your LCD screen that you can see up at the top left. Okay, so we're going to, this is just the way I do it. Up doesn't need to be capitalized. Hit return. I'm going to right click again. I'm going to hit run. Now we want to be able to go down the menu. Hit return. We're going to right click, hit run again, and we're going to write apply. Now if you feel comfortable doing it, you can go into the script and modify it to say whatever you want. Like if you don't like the apply, which can be a little confusing, you can change it to enter or return or whatever if you're comfortable modifying the script. Not something I've done, not something I'm worried about. I'm not going to worry about it. So there we go. All right. So now we have those commands and we can run those commands. We can, and what you'll see me do now is if I'm going to use the 6 and 7 key, if you look at the top left, you're going to see our cursor up and down the menu thing, okay? And when I want to select one of these, like behavior settings, I want to apply that. I want to go to behavior settings. Oh, now I'm in a nose. So my max load, we saw that I could pretty much lift a full load. It wasn't a big issue. So keeping it at 90% is probably not bad, but you know what? I want to lower that a little bit, just safely, okay? So I'm going to hit apply, and what it's going to do is it's going to cycle to the next value. Now I want it, this means that I want the miner to return once it's reached max, 85% of its max load. Okay, 85, I feel better with that, so we're going to go with that. Now I go down. I want to make sure that the weight limit is on. We do not have any injectors yet, so we're going to leave that off. Sorters, we're going to leave that off. Do I want to unload ice? Yes, but I'm going to tell you right now, I've noticed lately that this does not always happen. I've had to go in and manually transfer stuff over from the miner when it comes to ice, from the miner to the ship I'm docked up to, or the station I'm docked up to. It will eventually get pulled, but unless you have a sorter set up on the station or the ship that you're docking to that will pull it out automatically, this doesn't always work. I leave it on because we don't have uranium. We're not using reactors on this ship, so I'm gonna hit apply and cycle through this until it says ignore. Batteries, 20%. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Hydrogen, 20%. Yeah. See, when done, this tells it it's when you're done with the job, return home. If the ship gets damaged, return home. If it can, depends on how it got damaged. We're gonna leave those like that. Now, these are advanced settings. We're gonna hit apply and go to this. Okay, so drill inventory balancing. Sometimes you're going to be drilling in an area that doesn't, your entire drill surface doesn't cover 100%. So one drill might be getting more stone or more items than the other. That can mess with your center of gravity. And since this is a physics-based game, that can be applied. What drill inventory balancing does is even if only one drill is getting material, it will spread that material out through the other drills to maintain balance. We leave that on. I do want the drills to be enabled when it's moving forward and backward, or in our case, down and up. Work speed, forward. Okay, I like to change this. I like to slow the ship down going through. So 1.5 meters a second. It's a little heavy for me. So I like to take it to 1. Okay. I don't worry about the return. Okay. Acceleration. I'm going to bump this down a little bit. Go to 60. Width overlap. Okay. So if your drill pattern is a grid, width and height overlap is just that. The boxes in your grid will overlap each other by however many percent you put here. Now, depending on the shape of your drill layout, you may end up with small areas in the corners of the grid, of each grid box, that don't get drilled. So if I drilled a square that was, we'll say 20 meters by 20 meters, from above it's basically looks like a square, but there may be these long pillars of spots that didn't get drilled scattered throughout in a, it's gonna look like polka dots. So I always add some overlap. 10% is usually what I'll do. And that's what we're gonna go with here. Go down. And that's the last of the advanced things. So we're gonna go back. And from here we can set a job. Okay. I don't think we're gonna, well, we probably could do that right now. Real quick, let me make sure that I've got all my hydrogen thrusters covered here. Don't want any left out. Alright, we're going to try this. Okay, this may be a big fail, but alright. So we are going to start our, we have to record a home point and then a job point, okay? this is so that the miner knows where to come back to. Okay. I've messed this up several times in the past. Doesn't matter how long I've been doing this. When you start recording your path, we're going to hit apply to start recording path. Wait 3 seconds at least. 3 to 4, maybe 5 seconds. That lets it get, okay, this is definitely where the connector is. Okay. Then you disconnect. Then you move back and do whatever you're going to do. Okay. So we've got our batteries on auto. We're going to go ahead and turn our tanks. I'm sorry, our thrusters on. I'm going to make sure that real quick. I don't know if I'll be able to see or not. I won't be able to see. I can't tell. Yep, my new thrusters are on. Okay. The lights are on. I'm going to turn that on. Let's go back to in-cockpit. Stockpile is good. Locked. Since we're going to be getting stone, I'm not going to worry about putting on the ejection system right now. Okay? Alright. So I'm going to hit 9. Not 9. 8 to start recording path and set home. And you'll see how the screen changes. So it's recording. 1, 2, 3. Alright. Now we're going to disconnect. I'm going to back up. I'm going to switch my view. And from here, this is where we are going to set our path of travel. I'm going to keep this as direct as possible. Level out a little bit. We're going to go forward. We're going to dig our stone out of this crater. Now the script is recording this. You can see we got ice down there now. We've got magnesium, some silicon, but we're going after stone, so we're not worried about that. Look down, see where we are. See our spotlights are giving us a good hole. You know what? Don't feel like doing that part right now, not with the auto miner. We're gonna come right here. Now, we're gonna go back to our screen view. We're still recording. So the next time we hit apply, it's gonna stop recording. And this is gonna be the job site. That's what we're doing. There you go. Okay? So, if I scroll down, and I say fly home and hit apply, you can now see that it's following the path that we took. I'm not doing any of the flying, it's doing it. Okay? We want to make sure that it's going to lock up and set itself appropriately. Okay. Ooh, we're going to have to clear some of that out just to make sure we're good. And boom, there we go. Okay, awesome. So that worked. I'm going to do a quick refill of our tanks, make sure we're stockpiled. Okay, and the same thing. If you go into our cockpit view and I scroll down to fly to job position, it will do that too. I actually tried right-clicking while we backed up to see if I could clear a little bit of that stone, and it didn't work. It's because it's in the middle of the script right now. So, okay. So this is following the exact same path that we took. Okay. All right. So if you look at the screen, it's last move at the bottom of the screen says move to job. We are there. Now we're going to set up our job. Okay. We're going to lower our ourselves. Got a lot more uneven ground here than I expected. Let's go over here. This looks a little bit more even. Right here? Okay. Alright, and we're going to come down to about 15 meters off the ground. We're going to go to 10 meters. Yeah, that should be 10 meters off the ground. We're going to level ourselves out. And then we're going to set up our job. Okay. Move up. We're going to set up our mine job. Apply. Okay. So the width, this is the width of the square, the height of the square, and the depth of the square. And one of the things we need to do first is we need to hit K. We need to go into our information tab, and we need to select the show sensors field range. Okay. Let me show you what that does. You see that red box below us? All right. So this right now is the current setting of our sensor. All right. So if I go down a little bit, I want to make sure that my drills are always going to clear the highest spot that I'm drilling. That's what I'm doing. So right now we're at about 8. Yeah, 8 meters. We should be good. Let's jump back in. 30. You know what? This is going to be a great place to start. So let's just scroll down. I'm going to leave it at 3. And this is how you adjust the height. You use the negative or the positive. So if you want to add width, you hit that. Right? So like that. If I want to make it wider, I have to go down to reduce it. So just keep that in mind. Depth, we're going to stick at 30 meters. Depth mode, just leave this at default. It's a little bit easier. If you want to get into that, I would go to the user's guide. I want it to start not at the top left. I'm going to hit apply, and I want it to start at the center and work its way out. Okay? And then we're going to go back up. That's the last thing. And when we hit start new job, this is going to start doing its work. You can stay in the vehicle if you want. You don't have to, though, because it'll come and do its own thing. All right? But we're going to watch for a little bit. We're going to hit 8 and apply. Okay, so that filled up 85%. And now it's going to go back to the base. We're no issues. I think those 2 additional thrusters really helped out. This is awesome. Okay, so this is great because this is going to allow us to set up reoccurring resource gathering, okay? Also, we'll still be able to get, and right now it'll be stone, the next job will get ice, but this will at least keep us in resources while I fix that other miner. So. Alright, so while we're in here, we're going to take a look at the inventory inside. And the first thing that empties out is the drills. Okay, the drills are going to empty out first. And again, large container B is where we're going to want most of this stuff to go. You can see this isn't being pulled out though, like right away. Now, once I do that, and it's empty, the miner goes off to continue doing its job. Now it will do that. It will gradually pull all that stone out on its own. That's why you don't have to be there for it, which is really cool. But that's what we got. All right, so great. We had a great episode today. We made the last few changes functionally for Plungy, our plunge miner, and we have started an automated mining job to collect resources that allows us to do other things while it's going. So, great episode. We will eventually get around to doing some. We'll do some different stuff here, and red blob. But I hope this showed you how you can use the Path Auto Miner. Really appreciate you guys coming around. I hope you liked this video. I really do. And if you did, hit that thumbs up button. Like the content that you're getting these videos, and you want to see more of it, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can be informed when any new content comes out. Guys, thanks again. I hope you have a great day today. Stay cool. It's burning up out there. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other.